All right. Here we are. Got the crankcase cleaned up. Rubber bits and bolts off of it, except for the case bolts, of course. And so I've taken this seal puller 502 5055-01. They're kind of handy. They can be hard to get at least initially started. And you still have to be careful that you don't score up the crankshaft so that you end up with a good seal. But once you get it started and you got good enough grab, you just literally tighten this down on the crank and it'll, as you can see, it'll just start to pull that out. Now, it released. It's one of the problems I have with these is the tips or ends of these pullers, you know, are fairly wide, and it tends to take a fair amount, I guess, to get it started on that seal. And it can push pretty good on your hand when you're trying to get these started. But I'm very close to getting this one in, or fully pulled, that is. So you just put a lot of down pressure on it, and hopefully those threads will bite enough into the edge of the seal. Then you tighten the handle up against the shaft. Hopefully we can, you see it's coming out there now. We're getting it. And it's out. There we go. And it looks like we didn't do any damage to the crank, which is good. You probably can't see it from here, but it does look like there's a little bit of gunk there in that bearing. It's not as clean as I'd like to see it, so I think the decision to split open this case, which we're going to do no matter what because of the oiler situation, was a good one. So we'll progress to the other side here after we get this seal off the puller. So yeah, once you pull these off using something like this, you're not going to reuse those seals, that's for sure. All right, same process here. I don't like having that handle on there when I start these because I might need to press down on the end here to get this threaded. It's really about putting enough down pressure on this tool as you're twisting it to get those threads to bite. One of the other tricks that I'll use is to grab a pair of ice grips. Just to hold this better, enable me, once I put down pressure, to turn it. Sometimes this makes a difference. We'll see if it works here. Just takes that little bit of extra ingenuity to get these started. So clearly these pullers here aren't they leave something to be desired. Not sure. Never understood why some of these start and pull easier than others. It's just a nature of the beast, I guess. Generally speaking, if you get enough down pressure in it to get it started, and then turn it with the grips, vice grips, once you have it started, you know, and then you don't need the down pressure. You just have to turn it just enough to get it grabbed. Once you've grabbed it sufficiently, then the battle is over. Started coming. Patience is what it takes. If you get it in their little kitty wampus, you might run the risk of damaging the crank, but also the handle here may miss the middle of the crank shaft, and then you don't have your pulling power. Plus run the risk of scoring the threads. Starting to come now. And she's off. Let's just make sure we didn't do any damage. It doesn't look like we did, so we will end up sitting in good shape here. Oh, that's how you get, at least how that's how we got these particular bearings or seals off. So hopefully you can see that in there. Not exactly. Not exactly a real clean affair.